Welcome to Flow. In this guide, we're going to go through a few simple steps to get you up and running with the tool, introduce a few key ideas, and have you animating and exporting code in just a few minutes. Let's get right into it. We're going to be working with a file you just downloaded called myfirstflowfile.sketch. This is what it looks like. There are two artboards, start and end. They both have the same size. They're both 375 by 375, and the layer hierarchies are identical, which means that there's no additional layers in the start artboard or the end artboard, that the layers are in the same order as well. So ovals on top, rectangle on the bottom, and that the types of layers, in this case shapes, are identical as well. So this is a shape and that is a shape. Now when you first open Flow, it looks like this, the welcome window. Now there's a lot more to get into here, but first we're going to just create a new project. We're going to link a sketch file. We're going to open that. We're going to drag the start here, the end here. We're going to hit add, and now we're going to hit play. Look at that. Awesome, right? When you load two artboards from Sketch, Flow automatically interprets the differences between layer properties and creates a basic animation for you. So you see it's 1 second long, and the difference is the position, which was what was different in Sketch. Now you'll see that there are four main parts to Flow's interface. The Layers panel here on the left lists all the layers for the current design. The stage in the middle contains a scene, which is akin to an artboard, and shows all the visible layers for this design. On the right is the Properties panel. Now if you select something like the scene or a layer, you'll see all the properties for the thing that you just selected. At the bottom, right down here, is the timeline, and this is where the action happens in Flow. The timeline shows all the different animations that are happening right now, and it lets you change the timing, and it lets you change the transitions, the length, and do a lot more. This is where you craft your animations. Now we've just opened the timelines for both the oval and the rectangle, and what you can see is that there's an X animation and a Y animation for both of those layers. Let's save that as sketch animation.flow onto the desktop, and we're going to close it. Why? Because we're going to create a new project by pressing Command N, and we're going to create an empty timeline. We're going to say this as Flow Animation, and we're going to look at how to create animations from scratch in Flow. So here's our empty scene. There's no layers. We're going to add a rectangle and a circle, just like that. Now, animating in Flow is super easy. All you need to do is position the playhead to the time that you want. Let's do the end of the animation, and then change the properties of a layer. So for instance, let's move the circle up into the top left. Look at that. As soon as I let go, Flow creates two key values, one for X and one for Y. If I grab that square, put it down here, another two key values are created. And this is what our animation looks like. You can drag these key values around the timeline to change the timing of the animation. So you can grab a key value and move it. You can grab another key value and move it. Or you can grab multiple key values at the same time and move them. Just like that. You can also click on the easing curve in any one of the tracks and change the easing. Let's try making that back. Oh, let's see what that happens. Nice. And let's do back for the Y. That's how you animate in Flow. Essentially, that's it. You change properties, you move the playhead, you choose curves for animation tracks, and you make great stuff. Now, let's take a look at the goods. One of the coolest things you can do with Flow is export working code for your animations. If you're working in a production team, this will save you a ton of time and make your products really, really great. You can press File, Export, Code, or press Command-Shift-E. When you do, you get this code export window. I'm going to select the timeline that we just created. I'm going to export to HTML and iOS at the same time. It's going to save it to my Documents folder. I'm going to hit Export, and then I'm going to open that folder, and it looks like this. Let's open the iOS version first. We're going to double-click on the Xcode project that just got created. And we're going to choose iPhone X, and we're going to hit play. Now, it takes a little bit of time for that simulator to spin up. So while we're doing that, we'll go back here, go to HTML, and open the web page that just got created. And this is what it looks like. So, website, I hit play. The animation looks like just like it did in Flow. If we head on over to the simulator, which is just finishing loading up, we get the same thing. Thanks for watching, and please have a great time learning Flow.